So a big breaking coming in that the Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi will be in Pahalgam tomorrow. These are the details because after this drastic terror attack that has taken place, we saw how the top brass of the Ministry of Home Affairs rushed to the Kashmir Valley the same day. It includes the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and now tomorrow, that is on the 25th of April, it will be the Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi who will be in Pahalgam tomorrow. He will be accompanied by the Northern Army Commander Lieutenant General M.V. Suchendra Kumar, who will be briefing him along with the GOC 16 Corps and the local army commanders on the situation that is prevailing on ground, especially on the anti-terror operations that have been intensified in the region. Yesterday we also saw that when Union Home Minister went to the operation site in the Pahalgam, where that drastic terror attack has taken place that claimed the life of more than 26 civilians. There, the briefing to the Union Home Minister was done by the GOC, the ground commander there, who briefed him about the prevailing scenario and the inputs that the agencies had with them and how the Indian Army is reacting to the situation that is developing there. So, Lieutenant General, General M.V. Suchendra Kumar, who happens to be the Northern Army Commander, will be accompanying the Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi during his visit to Pahalgam tomorrow. It is expected that tomorrow morning, somewhere close to 1100 hours, he will be in Pahalgam to review the security scenario. And this is very important. This coming at a time when the Union Home Minister himself has been hitting the ground. He has been on the ground. Then there was a cabinet committee on the security that took some of very harsh decisions against the Pakistan so that Pakistan can be curbed. Because what Pakistan is doing, they want stock, but they are also promoting terrorism, and terrorism to such an extent that the the civilians, they are getting killed every single day. And also this large-scale terror attack, drastic terror attack that has taken place in the Kashmir Valley's Pahalgam. Now the visit comes on the heels of the escalating situations when it comes to the line of control as well, because we are witnessing that every single day Pakistan is provoking India, be it the ceasefire violation, be it the attempts to push terrorists into the Indian side. Pakistan is leaving no stone unturned so that they provoke India, but India has made it important to mention that the Army Chief will be visiting tomorrow, and this is going to be a very important visit of the Army Chief to the Kashmir Valley, because he will be getting a brief on the situation that is there on the ground. And also, apart from this, we are told that he will be holding a meeting with the top brass of the Indian Army on ground. It is also believed that he will be meeting the Chief of the Jammu and Kashmir Police, that is DGP Murdabad, tomorrow during his visit to the Kashmir that is going to take place tomorrow morning at around 1100 hours. And during this meeting, we are also told that how the coordination can be enhanced so that the inputs that are being generated by the local police or by the Indian Army, that can be exchanged within a real-time manner so that they can work upon these inputs and they can be converted into the successful operations, because the Pakistani terrorists that are active in the hinterland, they continue to pose a serious threat to the security forces that we have seen in the past. And now the civilians being targeted by the Pakistani terrorists clearly hints that Pakistan, that is their commanders sitting in the Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir, they are giving the directions, because the FIR number 25 of 2025 that has been registered at the police station Pahalgam with regards to this terror act, that clearly states that it was on the directions of the handlers across the border that this attack was carried out by these terrorists of Pakistan, out of which 3 have been identified by the security forces, and a manhunt has been launched, because Prime Minister today has also made it amply clear that India will identify, track and hunt these terrorists, and also not only these terrorists but their handlers and backers. That means those who are sitting across the border, they will also have to face the heat, because the Prime Minister of the country has said that they will go to any end of the world to get these perpetrators to the task. Now coming to this visit, the all-important visit of the Army Chief that is going to take place tomorrow to Pahalgam. First he will be landing from the national capital to Srinagar, Badami Bagh, and then he will be heading towards the Pahalgam to review the security scenario. It's important to mention that these visits come on the heel of the diplomatic decisions that India has taken because the kinetic decisions are yet to be unveiled, and these decisions they come only when they are performed, because we have witnessed what has happened in 2016 post Pulwama Uri attack, and also 2019 when we saw that after Pulwama 2019, after 12 days of that attack, India carried out the airstrikes. Pakistan was left unaware. It was taken completely by surprise, and so does the cadres of Jaish-e-Mohammed that were completely wiped out in the airstrikes by the Indian side. So now tomorrow it is going to be all important visit, though it is yet to be cleared whether the Army Chief General Dwivedi will be visiting the forward areas along the line of control in Kashmir, because it's only the 48 hours it will be tomorrow when the Army Chief will be here. That our infiltration bid was foiled in the Uri sector of the Baramulla, where two Pakistani terrorists of Lashkar-e-Toiba, they were attempting to sneak in into the Indian territory, but they were stopped, they were intercepted, they were seen in the footages that has also been accessed by Republic, and then they were neutralized by the security forces. Weapons were recovered from their possession, IDs were recovered from their possession, which clearly shows that the Pakistan is trying to send more and more terrorists into the Indian territory. But that attempt was foiled by the Indian Army soon after this Pulwama attack. That shows that the forces are on the utmost alert, and as we speak, the security forces are carrying out an intensified operations, not only in the Kashmir Valley but in Jammu region, be it in the Poonch, where anti-terror operations are underway to neutralize the group of Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists that was intercepted by the Indian Army a couple of days ago. And also in the Udhampur, where a Jaish group was trapped, a brave heart of the Jammu and Kashmir Indian Army, he made the supreme sacrifice. He was from the 6th para. It was Havaldar J. Sheikh who made the supreme sacrifice during this encounter with the terrorist. And now the security forces have gone full throttle, because the operations are underway not only in the area of the Northern Command but also the Western Command of the Indian Army that looks after the area of operations in the Samba and the Kathua district, which means that the forces, with the joint collaboration, they are ensuring that the Pakistani terrorists do not get an inch of space in the Indian territory, because if these terrorists get space, they will be carrying out more and more attacks that is going to have implications, because civilians have now or on the radar of the terrorists. This we have seen to way back in 2023 in the Dhangri, when the innocent civilians were killed after checking their Aadhaar card whether they were Hindus or not, and 7 Hindus were killed by the Pakistani terrorists of Lashkar-e-Toiba. Similar incident was reported here in the Pahalgam, and now we have been seeing. Now we are joined by our senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor. Abhishek, tomorrow we are witnessing that the Army Chief will be going to Pahalgam to review the security scenario. How do you see? On the one hand, it is the Union Home Minister along with the External Affairs Minister meeting the Supreme Commander, the President of India and the Army Chief going to the Kashmir Valley to review the scenario. Abhishek.
Well, obviously, Gursimran, it's building up to something, and which obviously is a lesson for the terrorists and their Pakistani backers. And these pictures are coming in from South Block, where many of those heads of the missions, chiefs of missions, ambassadors, high commissioners have been briefed by the Ministry of External Affairs on the emerging situation, the actions taken by India on the diplomatic side, and whatever else is happening by way of action on the ground, be it the chief visiting Pahalgam in Kashmir tomorrow, or the Home Minister briefing the President of India just a while back. All hectic activity indicating towards some action that is going to be aimed at teaching a lesson to these terrorists and their backers, and also, of course, to target the infrastructure which has been sustaining these terrorists carrying out these nefarious actions on Indian soil. We had Prime Minister earlier speaking, and these are pictures of External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar from earlier. He came in, and apart from that, we have seen carcades coming in of ambassadors, of envoys, foreign envoys who had been called in to brief in. I'm told that this is being done in batches. So, and essentially no particular order. It's just the batches in which these ambassadors or chiefs of missions or charge d'affaires are being called and briefed about India's response. And today is essentially a day when the government has made an outreach both internally with the all-party meeting, which is all set to take place at 6 p.m. And then, of course, this outreach abroad. In fact, Prime Minister, when he spoke in Bihar, he switched from Hindi to English so that the global audiences also understand India's pain and agony and the angst and the anger. And, of course, India's resolve to make sure that the terror ecosystem is made to pay for its misadventures. And Pahalgam is not going to be let go of without justice being delivered to these perpetrators of the most heinous crime that has happened in recent history in India, emanating from foreign soil. And so far as briefing these envoys is concerned, India has effectively told them the foreign origin and the foreign connection of the Pahalgam terror attack. That's what I'm getting to hear. And that these terrorists have direct linkages with the Pakistani deep state and the Pakistani terror ecosystem, that at least 3 of the 5 terrorists who were involved in the Pahalgam terror attack, I beg your pardon, last evening, were Pakistani citizens, and that they were trained, groomed and armed in Pakistan and infiltrated at some point in time into India from the Jammu side and became active in South Kashmir, and they have carried out this terror attack.